You're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast for Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach specialising in sales and leadership. But today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you yet another outstanding interview. In this podcast episode, I chat with another Brisbane BNI member to explore their biggest wins, biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This episode is episode 99. And today's special guest is Andrea Anderson from Your Marketing Machines. Welcome, Andrea.
Well, if
Yay!
I had lots of fanfare, I'd play it for you, Tony. Number 99.
Mm.
Wow. I feel honoured, seriously
Well,
honoured to be number 99. Bring it on.
fantastic. Well, what an absolute thrill it is for me. It'll be an absolute thrill for our viewers, for our listeners as well. But let's kick it off with a BNI story. What's the best referral you've either given or received through BNI?
Wow. So many.
Mm.
However, the most favourite
Mm.
one for us was there were two. So, can I share two?
Of course you can, yeah.
Excellent. The very first one was there was a sub who came to the meeting. Um, you just never say the wrong thing to the right person at the right time in the right room. And whatever it was I said, he came back to me through the person he was subbing on behalf of as a referral. And essentially, what he was looking for was a complete rebrand, a complete repositioning of his business. His business was 10 years old. He was already investing in marketing services, but felt that as a 10-year-old business, he needed to show up a little bit better. That for us turned out to be an 18-month client that we worked with. We did the complete rebrand. We worked within his marketing contractors and experts as well. So more of a fractional marketing officer role. And it was one of the best fun clients we'd ever had. And what we loved about him was that he was open to suggestions. He treated us like we were part of his team. We weren't the external contractors. Any ideas, any thoughts he had, he would come to discuss that with us first. So that was a real favorite client. And if anything, what that client did was set the expectations for any other clients thereafter. Another favorite story was a referral we got through from a cross chapter BNI member. She had a client who was looking to invest about $750,000 into a diversification of the business. They had written a business plan. They were beating their chest proudly saying, "We've done it right." And someone said to them, "I think you should go and just get that checked to make sure that what you're planning is actually feasible." So they were put in front of us. We had the privilege of working with them over a 2-month period to really understand what they were trying to do. And in that process, we actually completed the marketing audit and redid the business plan. And essentially what we came back with was, yeah, nah, don't do it. Don't invest the money. Don't do it. You won't get the return you're thinking. It's not fair. The market's going through major regulation, legislation changes, which is therefore going to impact and affect the return on your investment. So that's a success story for us, saving them from spending $750,000.
Yeah, wow, what wonderful stories they are. How did you first discover BNI, Andrea?
So I classify myself as a bit of a retread, Tony, and this is not the first time I've been around BNI. I first was introduced to BNI back in New Zealand, and we're probably going back, golly, 20 years ago. That's how young I am. And I was part of a super sub kind of arrangement with a few chapters in Auckland. I then moved to WA and joined a BNI chapter in Fremantle. And that was in 2015, 16. Left there. And then when I moved to Brisbane and had to, I guess, really just start all over again, I joined BNI in 2021.
So clearly you're a massive BNI advocate. So what was it about that first experience back in New Zealand that led you to think, well, hang on, this BNI thing is good value, great value.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I must say too is that the principles, the philosophy, and the way that you operate BNI hasn't changed in that 20-year period. Just saying, it's still very much the same. What appealed to me was being in a room with like-hearted and like-minded people, and being in a room filled with experts in their own respective right, and knowing that you've got this brain's trust in the room with you. That 5-minute conversation with somebody else in the room could save you thousands of dollars from making a really dumb decision and a bad mistake. And knowing that you've got that in the room and got that amongst the BNI network is it's infallible for wanting to build a successful business.
So, speaking of success, what is it that you constantly do in BNI that brings you success?
For me and for your marketing machines, turning up is just not good enough for us. So the consistency we have is the belief and the entrenchment of the BNI philosophies and the values within our business. And that's something that we do every day. And I'm very fortunate. There's me and three. So there's four of us who are in a part of your marketing machines, but we also are all in BNI. So the investment for us is not just necessarily for gaining leads or really having brand awareness. It's because the principles align so harmoniously with how we want to operate. So the consistency here for us is following what's required. And that is do your one-to-ones. I've actually got 3 booked in for today. I've got 6 booked in for tomorrow. So do your one-to-ones, connect in with people, build real relationship with other BNI members. Bring your visitors. Visitors are so important because this is about being proud of the organization you're a part of, and in particular the chapter you're with. So bring the visitors. Do your CEU points. We're never beyond learning. We should always be constantly learning. And show up. Just don't fill a seat. Actually show up and be present and be supportive. So that's the consistency every day, every week for us.
Amazing. On the flip side, what are some mistakes that you see from other BNI members that prevent them from achieving greatness in BNI?
Gosh, you see it every time. And I just want to go up and wring their neck. I really do. I just want to tell them, guys, don't make this as difficult as you're making it. Seriously. So a lot of the mistakes I see is that most most business owners or people who are representing their company actually don't have the givers gain mentality. They're not there to share. They're not there to look at how can I support you and your business.
Mm.
And that I think is a fundamental mistake for BNI. If you're there purely just for yourself, you will fail at the game, because what's the very first value? Givers gain. So it's about the ability and desire to give before you return back. So that's a big mistake I see as that. But I guess what leads to that is there's not enough one-to-ones being done. They're not meeting in with people. They're turning up expecting to get a lead or a referral, and then that's it. There's no reciprocation. And that's the biggest mistake you can make in BNI.
Great. And great awareness and great advice too, Andrea. Let's have a chat about your business now specifically. So your marketing machines. So tell us about it. What is your marketing machines all about? How long has it been going for? What are the services that you offer?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tony. So your marketing machines was birthed or born in 2015. So we celebrated 10 years in 2025. Thank you. Gosh, I never thought we'd get to 10 years, if I'm brutally honest with you. So I'm very thankful for everyone who supported the company to date. And we're so appreciative of just that, even just a little finger pushing us in the right direction has been tremendous. We were really fortunate to be the principal sponsors for BNI Australia National Conference in 2025. Such a privilege for us to hold that position last year, and a great way for us to celebrate 10 years with fellow BNI members from across the country. As a company, we started out like most marketing companies, that is with either providing social media, content creation, copywriting, services and expertise. That built over time into becoming a digital agency where we moved into building websites, building chatbots, SEO, Google advertising, and the like. What I realized 3 years ago, Tony, was that was not the position I wanted to play in. It wasn't the services I really wanted to provide. And I found that the marketplace was shifting and changing as well. And more importantly, what I realized, Tony, was me at the helm of this business, I wasn't happy. So if I wasn't happy, no one else was going to be happy as well inside the company. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, we made a major shift in the direction of the business. We removed a lot of the execution expertise that we had. And now where we sit primarily is more in data analytics and analyzing a business and their marketing game plan, really understanding, is that a good direction for you to be going in from a marketing perspective? So a lot of our clients, we end up having a very strong B2B and in-depth B2B conversation, because marketing highlights what's going on and spotlight on your business and the condition that your business is in. So if the business is not in a great condition, the last thing you want to do is put a spotlight on that. So a lot of our time now is invested in that market research, data analytics, intelligence gathering to support business owners in making the right investment decision. From there, we then create into what we call is the business playbook, and that's the strategy side of it. So ensuring that they do have a game plan and a playbook, so whoever their players may be can read from it. If they want us to be part of that execution, we have that in-house as well. Or what we prefer to do is more of a fractional marketing officer role, where we work with the team of experts you've already got and support the business owner that way. For us, Tony, our philosophy is, if your business was my business, what would I want to know so that I can create the safest pathway to success? That's how we begin every conversation. So whether you want to come and speak to us about a website, or your marketing's not working, or you're looking at expanding into another marketplace, or you're looking at bringing on another product, that's always the first question in our head is, if your business was my business, what would I need to know so I can create that safest pathway to success?
What makes your marketing machines different from your competitors?
Yeah, look, great question. I guess for us, we start firstly at that analyze, strategize area first and foremost. We don't always take on board face value. So whatever it is the client tells us, we don't necessarily take that on as being gospel truth. The reason why clients come to experts like yourself and myself is that they've got an idea, they've got a goal, they've got a dream, they've got a vision, and they're looking for that expertise to support them in the achievement of that goal and aspiration. Now, their way may not be the safest way. It may not be the most cost effective. It may not be the most profitable. From our perspective, we want to be in a position to be able to share that with you, and then hopefully be able to provide an alternative that can help you achieve the goal and win financially as well. So the conversation for us is always a business conversation. It's always about, why do you want to go there? What's driving that? What do you know? And by us understanding that, we're also able to understand how the business owner makes decisions. Are they a shiny objectitis kind of business owner? Is that how they make decisions? They go to a barbecue and come back and go, I've got a brain fart. And it's like, oh, Lord, here we go. Are they the kind of business owner who loves to have data? In other words, they may even suffer from paralysis of analysis. So it just helps us to understand how they best work and operate so that we're then able to create a game plan that aligns in comfortably and confidently with where they want to go.
So who's an ideal referral for you right now?
Great question. And you probably hear everyone go, anyone who. I know, like, oh, it's not the BNI way.
Hmm.
For us, they are primarily established businesses. They've probably been in business for more than 5 years. We're starting to see multi-generational businesses coming our way. So they're looking at going to the next generation and really wondering if the way that they've been operating the business is the right way. These are businesses that are used to investing into their marketing. They are looking to want to have a business conversation. And what's really driving them, the motivator factor for them, is usually legacy. They're wanting to see how the legacy can continue. So that's client number one for us. And interestingly enough, we're currently working with someone at the moment who's just bought a 40-year-old business. He bought into it 6 years ago. Cauterizing the bleeding is what we're trying to do at the moment to support him and his business coach. So those kind of clients are really good for us because they're not looking for just a standard digital marketing strategy or an advertising strategy. They're looking for a holistic solution.
Very good. Let's change gears a little bit. I want to play a word
Sure.
association game with you. I'm going to say a word. You're going to give me a short, sharp response. Networking,
Business,
referrals,
trust,
success,
success, winning,
coffee,
connection,
give us gain,
relationship,
sport,
fun,
team,
work,
BNI.
success.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrea. If you could give one piece of wisdom or advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, specifically BNI networking, what would it be?
Connect in, plug in, take advantage of 40 years of networking expertise and knowledge from around the world. This is something that is a team sport. There are people inside every chapter who have equal passion and desire for success as you do. Connect in with them and hold on.
And hold on, I love it. Um, what's one exciting thing that's happening in your business right now that you'd like the listeners or the viewers to know about, Andrea?
Yeah, actually, we're super excited, actually, Tony. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity just to talk
Mm,
briefly
mm.
about this. So, one of our goals has always been to look at how we can support businesses who are looking to want to transact or commercialize into Australia. We've been really fortunate, and once again, through my New Zealand connections, to trial this opportunity. And yeah, what we're finding is we're getting more uh, requests internationally. People are looking to us to look at the feasibility of, is Australia and New Zealand, or in particular Australia,
Mm.
an opportunity for my business to grow into from a market expansion perspective. And so we've had quite a fair bit of work come through for people wanting us to do that market research and intelligence gathering, to give them a bit of a bird's eye view of what it's like to do business here in Australia, but also to understand, is there a market for what you're looking to bring into the country? And look, Australia is a big country, Tony. I think the land mass of New Zealand fits into Queensland alone, I think 12 times.
Mm.
So people make an assumption that doing business in Australia, whether you're in Melbourne, Sydney, WA, or Queensland, is a much of a muchness. And yet we know from being here that that's not the case. And so we're really excited to be providing that insight and knowledge for these international companies.
That's amazing. How can listeners learn more about your marketing machines or get in touch with you, Andrea?
Absolutely. I'd love to do one-to-ones. Bring them on. So definitely there's a QR code there that's attached to my screen. This here is a great freebie. It's a great way for you to go and see how market savvy you really are. But also, please reach out to me through www.yourmarketingmachines.com.au. Would love to hear from you, and let's book a one-to-one and have a chat. Let's talk.
I
Have
love it.
fun.
I love it. I love it. Well, hey, thanks, Andrea. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. That's a wrap on today's episode of the BNI Effect. Many thanks to today's guest, Andrea Anderson, for sharing her insights with us and showing us what's possible in BNI. If you're a BNI member, perhaps there's an idea that Andrea shared that you can implement over the next week. Or if you're a visitor to BNI, I hope you've seen how powerful this community can be for you and for your business. Subscribe to hear or view more real stories from Brisbane BNI members. And until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.
3